Hi everyone and good afternoon one and all. Welcome to the final session of the first day of the Enthusiastic Tech Summit 2021 being organized by MyWays uh, so that the student community or the candidate community can get a overview of the tech domain job scenario as well as the upskilling and mentorship opportunities which uh, wait for them. And uh, in this session, uh, we'll try to keep it as a discussion rather than as a presentation from a speaker. So to join me here, we have Nikhil Gupta, who is co-founder of LimeChat. He is a IIT Delhi graduate, and LimeChat is his second entrepreneurial venture. And maybe when we go about understanding the uh, possibility of which job to take up, MNC or startup. Maybe Nikhil, while discussing about his personal journey, will talk about him much better there. And the other panelist here, hi Nikhil. So the other panelist we have here is Shashank Mishra. He's a senior data engineer with Amazon at this moment. Uh, he had his graduation from uh, NIT Allahabad with an MCA in computer science and engineering. And thereafter, he had this possibility of working with various MNCs, be it McKinsey, be it Paytm, be it Amazon at this moment. So his perspective would be mostly from an MNC uh, employee background. And as Nikhil is would talk about his journey as a startup founder and then being associated with employees of a startup from day one. Uh, Nikhil gives us that perspective. And finally, about me, uh, I have joined MyWays as CBO a couple of months back. Prior to this, I have around more than 11 years of professional experience, mostly dealing with business development. Uh, and last 6 years has been an entrepreneurial journey. It had all kinds of ups and downs, ebbs and flows. So, uh, so that is when my team actually asked me a possibility of being part of this panel discussion. I was like, immediately, yeah, why not? I would be more than happy to talk about their journey and maybe getting the perspectives from Nikhil and Shashank also would be great for me as well. So, so with these introductions, guys, let's move on and see. Let's try to answer this question of which job to take up for a fresher. Is it an MNC or a startup? So, and especially in the tech domain perspective. So to start with, I'll ask Shashank Mishra.
Okay.
Shashank, so, as you had this journey, right, of traveling with more than 3, 4 companies and spanning over at least 6, 7 years now. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so, from a personal perspective, okay, how do you see that as an employee of all these MNCs?
Okay. So definitely, it's a good question and needs to be answered, especially for the students who are in their final years, right? So even for me, like taking that decision was really tough. For me, it was like, okay, I was aware about, okay, what is the startup and what would be the culture there, right? And if let's say it's a growing startup, then what would be the pressure there? And everything like working in a MNC has a different advantage, pros and cons, similarly for the startups as well. So taking the right decision at the college level, obviously it is going to be a tough choice. So, but nowadays, what I have seen, and that most of the students or most of the those fresh college grads are really interested towards the startup side, right? Because the beauty about working in a startup is that first thing you will be having a good exposure of all the open source tech framework, right? Because at the early stage they completely depend on that, right? Whatever solution, whatever product they try to build, that is more towards the open source, right? Second thing would be like, because when I was in Paytm, right, I started my journey with a service-based firm, right? Opera Solution was a service-based firm, so it was like well-managed firm. So their things were pretty smooth. Like that's the kind of difference I have observed working in MNC and working for the unicorn startups as well. So there things were pretty smooth. Like you have a project idea, everything is settled down. You have a good hierarchy there, right? Your manager, your team lead, and then senior developer, and then I was at the bottom, the junior developer, right? So everything was pretty smooth. You have complete deadlines. There is a high engagement manager who is interacting with the clients, right? And लाइक उनको सब पता है कि हाँ ऐसे ऐसे चीजें फ्लो में होनी है, ये डेडलाइंस हमारे पास हैं, एंड यू गाइस जस्ट नीड टू वर्क अपॉन दैट, राइट? सो एवरीथिंग वाज सो स्मूथ. But in the startup, like when I was working for the Paytm, that was obviously it was established, but still they were following that culture. So there obviously it was a good learning environment for me, because there I was free to take my own decision. If I was thinking that no, this can be implemented in that way and that could be the best tech framework, probably I won't go for any in-house tool or any sort of tool which is paid, right? So probably I would like to create a customized solution, right? So that was the one thing which I liked there. Second thing, I always love to work in a like in the startups. Definitely, it's not like a that you are having a strict deadlines or the timelines, right? There, the development is very rapid, right? And sometimes you will. It's not like that, but sometimes you will feel that some pressure is building up, because time to time, let's say you're working on a one thing and quickly in the middle, oh Shashank, can you do this thing, like यहाँ पे ज्यादा है, अभी जल्दी से हमको इसको wrap up करना है, right? So that's the culture, but that is also one important learning. Like it helps you to become a multitasker, right? कि आप एक टाइम पे कैसे एक इजी वे में चीजों को अच्छे से मैनेज कर सकते हो उस डायरेक्शन में, राइट? सो दैट वाज द सेकंड थिंग. थर्ड थिंग कि like you will get a chance to interact with the like business teams directly sometimes, right? You will get a chance to become the part of team where discussion is going on, so you will get that exposure how business is working actually, what is the complete flow, right? So those kind of learnings you will be having in the startup. And if you want your life in a very managed way, everything very perfect, that okay, I need this 6 month of time period to work on that piece of requirement or something, and that's how my promotion cycle should look like, and after 1 year I need this much percentage of increments, and these sort of like, or easy life if you want, then definitely you have an option of MNCs. And if you want to, like at the early stage, starting 5 years of your career are really crucial, right? Where you need to spend your time on the learnings, right? As much as things you can learn, and the startup is the one thing where you can get that environment. That's my learning actually.
Yeah, I think here Shashank, even though he's from an MNC, he has given certain perspectives for
Yeah, that's
students why
completely
to
true.
take up startup as a first career choice.
Yeah.
And just before I move on to Nikhil for his, founder side's perspective. Shashank, when it comes to Amazon, okay, which is like a lighthouse unicorn, or from the startup environment, that is something which is a very established company now. So,
Yeah.
uh, how about an employee being taking Amazon or these kind of FANG uh,
Mhm.
companies as their first job? Okay, what would be the experience there?
Yeah, so that is also a debative topic, you can say, right?
Yes.
So nowadays, actually, that FANG terminology or something like like if you want to take my opinion, that was the terminology which was in the hype, at least around in the 2014 or 2016 time, right? It was like कि FANG ही सब कुछ है, मतलब everybody was so crazy about it. But that's what I said, like the kind of environment we are seeing in the startup ecosystem in India nowadays, right? If you take this past 1 week, you can see those six big unicorns, right? Like the fundings and the kind of culture they have. So that's what, like, it is just seeking the attention of those students or those young energies, right? Which actually want to work in such kind of environments. But if you're since talking about let's say somebody is dreaming for his and her first job in the fan, right? So definitely there should also be your choice, right? Obviously everybody loves to work with these tech giants, and in terms of compensation, in terms of like the royalty or the lifestyle, everything you get there, right? So that is also someone's decision. And for me, like working in a company like which is most customer centric, right? You also need to take that perspective, right? Let's say you are choosing an organization, what kind of impact it is making in the like society, right? So here, like if I take an example of Amazon, obviously life is not that much chill, I would say, because we are the like customer centric company, definitely. So something, let's say it breaks down, then it is impacting our customer. So we need to just overcome it and we need to take the actions quickly. And even when we build something or anything which is going to be live in the production, we need to be really careful. We need to design it in such a way that it is highly scalable, whatever solutions we are trying to build. So when we try to build those kind of systems, scalable, optimized, there is good engineering or the good tech architecting the things is involved.
Understood, understood. So, if I had to put in maybe one sentence about working with Amazon, even though it's a unicorn now and a very big established company, but being
The
customer
challenge, yeah.
and being having that startup culture with it, okay, starting this millennium. So the life there is not as chilled as,
Yeah,
maybe may
not
not be
that
as
chill.
organized in such a fashion there.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Shashank, for those inputs and perspectives. Yeah, Nikhil's, this is very different for you, right? I think immediately after graduation, you became an entrepreneur, and this is your second venture as such also. So, uh, now from that viewpoint, how do you see the entire thing for students looking for jobs?
It's interesting. I think a lot of things that Sashank has mentioned, it's a completely different journey from what I've been
वो
on.
तो already mentioned कर लिया 2-3 point.
Right. So it's so different that I don't have a lot to say actually because I haven't gone through that experience myself. I would say before I actually became an entrepreneur, I did a couple of internships in different places. So I think as a student, it's your responsibility to figure out whether or not you want to go into the entrepreneurship line or do you want to kind of go and get a job. So it's almost about exploring. You have to explore first and then make decisions based on experiences you face. So I also had that opportunity. I went for a couple of internships. I went and worked at, it wasn't like a product based company, it was more like a financial trading company at that moment of time. And I sat there, I'm thinking, is this the type of job I want to do in the future? Is this the type of work I want to be associated with in the future? And when I looked and I talked to myself, I figured out that I needed something where I was creating big value. So that's something that drove me. I wanted to be part of something that either I could join a really fast moving startup or I could create a startup of my own where there's a grand vision. You're free to kind of, you use your ideas and build. So I didn't want that restriction that things are planned out for me like assignments and I'm just executing. I want to be involved. I like to be involved. I want to kind of ideate along with the journey. So that's kind of how I kind of shifted into the direction of I knew kind of at that moment of time that let's try a startup going forward. So while I was still in college, I was still looking for job opportunities. By the way, I won't deny that. You always want to look for a backup. So I actually got accepted in different job roles in Amazon. Actually, I actually got accepted in Amazon Seattle. So I have a research background in AI and natural language processing. So for us, it was a little bit easier for me to like explore and look for job opportunities. Um, so
Like,
I
I,
had these.
I
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
being from a elite background, sorry to interrupt, Nikhil. So being from this around 1,000 or odd colleges, being from one among them, gives this set of students that possibility of choice, right?
Right.
Uh,
No, absolutely. So I would say I was privileged in that sense that I had the opportunity to actually give an interview and get selected in jobs outside. But still, I put that aside. Let's forget about what I was entitled to. Let's now I thought about what can I be doing at this stage to create value. Like I said, so it was clear in my mind. I was looking for something where I can create that value. So while I was still in my final year, I said let's start up. Let's figure out what this journey is about. I was always excited. I wanted to know I was basically in myself. I knew I was very ambitious. I was not going to settle for something that I'm just fighting for that paycheck to paycheck, figuring out what's your salary, what's my salary. and define success. Especially in our college environment, it was very competitive based on how much salary you're getting defines the success that you have as a person. And when you're actually looking for the job as well, I would say while you're in college, that does make a difference maybe for the short term, where you're like, okay, what's my LPA? I might be leaving a better opportunity to go for something that has higher salary. So you actually define the quality of your job based on how much you're getting paid, rather than looking at the work you have to do. And once you're actually in college, you miss out on that. And once you start working, you start looking at, okay, do I even like this job? Okay, I'm making money. Would I actually take a pay reduction and move on to do something else? And you actually start thinking about that while you're working, while you've started your first or second job. I think that's a little bit too late. Take a step now. You're in the right moment of time in your life to make a decision, to think about what do you want to really do. And again, circumstances are different. Some people, they have to go for that option where have to maximize for the salary that you have. So that's a different situation. I think
Yeah,
the people.
I think Nikhil, yeah, sorry again. As you said here, if we this pattern put in another version, we can say maybe the risk-taking possibility for any professional is at the highest when they are about to graduate, right? When they have minimum responsibilities or any other obligations to bother
Yes,
them.
absolutely.
So considering
So
that they have that option of whether going for MNC, startup, or even starting their own startup for that entrepreneurial journey, uh, I, yeah, I mean, I think that is where Nikhil is coming from, right? Okay, this is the right time for you guys if they have that possibility.
absolutely. So it depends if you have that risk taking ability and opportunity. There's two different things, right? Not everyone is a risk taker. You want to have some security in life as well. You work so hard, you work through college, you work to get that degree. Now you want to get a stable job so you can be successful. I would just say my viewpoint is that at that moment of time, just think about the type of job you're going for, the type of work you have to do, and not just look at the monetary aspects, because you have your whole life for that. Just like Sujikar mentioned, that this is the best time to take that risk. You have the best opportunity. So I would say that's what I looked at. I said that I looked at my options. I said, this is my opportunity. I left that job offer I had in the US. I said, no, I want to take this forward. I want to give it a shot. And then it's about finding the right founders, co-founders along with you. That's a different whole story on the side. Finding the right type of people to start a company with, and then just going for it. So as you mentioned, this is my second journey in this field. It's my second startup. So the first startup was, it's an experimental kind of thing. You learn so much, and you learn from your failures, right? So we did that for about a year, and we learned so much, and I got so much out of that. Even though the startup itself was not a success, I just felt that this is what I really have to be doing. This is
Yeah,
what I belong.
yeah, I think Nikhil, that is where I think you are kind of an example here for anyone who want to take risk. Even though you couldn't go through with your first venture very successfully, maybe on terms of monetary front or further journey, you had this possibility of starting the second one, right?
Yeah,
And you are doing great now. You have been funded by Y Combinator this time around. So that possibility existed for you, okay, even after taking that risk.
yeah. But it's not easy. Like, so between the two startups, I'm sitting there unemployed for 6 months, right?
Uh,
So it's all about risk. So it's about my mindset at that moment of time. You have a job opportunity, or you have no idea what you're doing. You're sitting and defining the job for yourself. So it's about that risk-taking appetite, very frankly.
Yes, yes. So, properly put, Nikhil. Yeah, if we get back to Shashank again,
Yeah,
now as you mentioned, Shashank, earlier itself in the discussion, that in terms of jobs, roles, and responsibilities, the startup gives you more possibility, okay, of going beyond your job roles and responsibility and be more agile there. I
Yeah.
think we already touched upon that point. So now, uh, a follow up to all those. Okay, at the end of it, we talk about growth and learning. Growth, which again comes through maybe learning and development in one way, and the second maybe going through the ladder of the hierarchy in whichever place we are. So
Yeah.
from these two perspectives, uh, if someone chooses an MNC, okay, for example, let's take Amazon itself, okay, or maybe the first company of yours, okay,
Yeah.
there, how can we look at growth and learning and development? So I think after having your perspective, maybe we look from a Nikhil's viewpoint also, where he is the founder and there are few employees under working with him. उन लोग का growth हो and learning कैसे है?
Okay, cool. So I think that growth part is a two-way thing, right? First, you need to put your own efforts as well, right? Let's say you got the good pay scale, right? You got the good, your dream company, and you are just only working on the assigned task. Okay, my manager assigned me something and I'm working on it for, let's say, next couple of years. That is not the growth, right? That means just you are doing and you're completing this stuff. So that's the first thing, like your intent and your dedication towards learning something new also matters a lot, right? So that is the first one way. Second way, it comes from the organization sides as well, right? Like the management or the leadership, whatever you have, they should also be concerned about your growth. That means they should keep on, like, just they should keep on give you the variety of tasks, right? It shouldn't be like that every time you are just getting some same sort of task or same sort of projects, right? Let's say like one time you did something for a financial domain, next time they should, let's say they have multiple projects, multiple clients, they should staff you in a, let's say, healthcare domain, right? So that at least you can get that exposure of it. So that's why it's a two-way thing. So you need to put your efforts. And what I have think, being an employee, it's it's your responsibility to make your own visibility, right? Like, because that domain is really vast. In an organization, in a team, the team size could be very large, right? Nobody is going to notice you until you are not making your visibility, right? You need to put your efforts in such a way. Time to time you need to come up with the good ideas which can add some values in your team, in your projects, right? So for an example, I can give you the idea. Let's say I'm working, there are existing projects, right, in my team, and definitely when they were made, and there is always a scope of enhancement, optimization, scalability. If you will deep dive into it, definitely you will find some way to enhance it somehow, right? So for that, that's what, like, it should be your interest that you are just going through with other projects, you are keen to learn. So for, trust me, when I joined my first employer, I was core software engineer, right, who was working in the backend development or something like that. But I was so curious to learn that in the cafeteria or while playing the table tennis, I was having discussion with other folks who were working in this big data domain, right? They were good at it, they were working on those projects. So that terminology, the name they were taking, like distributed computation, distributed storage, petabytes of data, terabytes of data, it looked really fascinating to me, and it caught my attention, right? And I started exploring this domain, and you can now see that like it was a, like, turning point for my career. I took that decision, okay, this looks interesting to me and I will choose it as my career path. So
Okay.
that's how, like, growth is dependent.
Understood, understood. So maybe it's like in established companies, there exists this possibility of learning and growth in much structured manner as well.
Yeah.
However, the initiative should come from the person himself.
But it should
He
start
has
from,
to
yeah.
go and look into them. Okay,
Yeah.
or if he doesn't want to, he has that possibility every day to just
Yes, yes.
look for
You
question.
have 4, 5, 10 years. You can just keep on working, get the promotion, get the increment, and spend your entire life.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Nikhil, can we say in a startup world, this person, irrespective of whether he wants or not, he's thrown into a furnace in terms of growth, learning, and development. He need to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different. I completely agree with what Shashank said. Like in a company, I think it's very structured for you. So if you do the hard work, you acknowledge that I want to grow. You have you talk about a ladder, corporate ladder. You have a ladder where you can keep going and learn different things and keep improving yourself. I think a startup is very different because the role itself isn't well defined. I'm stuck at points. I'm hiring for a particular role and we don't know that exactly what that person is going to be doing in the company. So
Mhm.
we typically, when we hire, we're looking for people who join startups. We look for three things, right? Definitely, that person needs to be ambitious. They should be looking to, putting that extra effort. So I think Shashank used the word young energy. You
Yeah.
know, so coming out of college are, some of the best type of people who can come into a startup, fit in. They're very flexible. They're not already shaped by corporate culture. College is also like, it's a mess of different things happening, right? You're managing different courses. So I think a startup is just a natural extension of it. So my understanding is people coming from college directly into a startup, they have a better chance to kind of fit in a lot easier. as compared to maybe someone coming from a corporate culture, because they're used to that, that structure going forward. But so that's one thing. You definitely need to have that young energy, the ability to put in that hard work, hard hours. Second, you should value ownership, right? Like I said, you in a very early stage of the company, you're taking a particular role, right? So you're getting given a project that has some meaning to the company. Otherwise, it would not be prioritized. Everything is very lean. So almost everything that's happening in the company is critical to a certain extent, I would say. So if you're working on something, then definitely your work is critical and you have to perform and you'll be given ownership to that. So you should have that comfortable of taking that responsibility, that ownership. It's not like you did not meet the deadline, you're not feeling bad about it. You should feel guilty because that was your responsibility. So if you don't want to work in that pressure, it becomes hard maintaining your position in the startup. And the third thing is, I would say, being a fast learner. Because you're exposed to so many different things at once. Again, it's unstructured, so it kind of leads back to that comment again. You need to be able to kind of adapt to the situation. If it is needed that one week you work in a particular role, the next week you might have to work in a different role. We call this wearing different hats. So even engineers, they might have to wear a hat of a DevOps engineer. Like they have to figure it out. I don't know. I don't care. The job needs to be done, right? So this is it's their responsibility to figure it out. So most of the time it's unknown. It's diving into the unknown. So there's some people who are afraid of that. They need things to be well written, and there's some people who relish that. It's unknown. I'll read about it. I'll find it on the internet. I'll figure it out. And those are the people who then get an opportunity to explore new things. And we talk about growth. Growth is just an outcome of just being in this process long enough. I would say.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I think here, see, what I can also, from my own perspective, say is there is no right or wrong answer for this in terms of selection. I think it's all subjective over here. And moreover, when it comes to that question of choosing, I think startup or MNC, it lies with only very few people who graduate in a year. Very, very minute percentage of the entire lot. So that way, if you see, I think Shashank and Nikhil, both of you are like two sides of a coin where in your own respective careers, you are very successful. Be it Shashank, I think, because of his inherent push towards learning and then exploring different opportunities, he has found his wonderful way in the MNC world to grow up the ladder as well as get that structured learning processing. Okay, at the same time, also becoming financially very stable, and maybe in a way, from a safety perspective, right from day one, maybe. So, Nikhil, you have taken a different approach of exploring your professional narrative. I think it will finally boil down to their own personal, belief systems. And belief systems in a sense, beliefs. I'm not talking about those belief systems here. Now, this one particular aspect, which is called work-life balance.
I think
Does it really matter? Should it really matter to any fresher?
okay, if I would like to take this up, then if you are a fresher, then definitely you should put your energy, like you are in a state where you can put your energies, because those extra hours sometimes will come up with great learnings, right? That's what I have observed in my first employer. Definitely I just went beyond my limits, and that decision, like going beyond the limits, definitely was somehow beneficial for me. So like when you are a fresher, then I would say you can put that energy, and you shouldn't care that much about the work life balance, because even like let's say at the early stage, if you will get comfortable or somehow you entered into that comfort zone, then after 1 year 2 year it is going to be really hard for you, right, to take that decision. Let's say after 2 years you realize that probably I'm not growing into this company or the so-called MNC, whatever I have joined, I'm not growing. You realize that you are earning good, that's one aspect, but you are not growing. You are feeling saturated in terms of the use of tech stack or technical skills, or whether I talk about the soft skills, right? You are just feeling saturated, but still you are also in a comfort zone where you have a like 7 8 hours where you need to spend. You have like 1 or 2 meetings in a day to attend, and you just need to do a follow up on the emails and interact with your managers, and you are done. That's how you are just doing the thing. So after the 2 years, when you will take that decision, now what should be the next choice? Because the experience of working in MNC wasn't that good. So probably you might be targeting a mid-sized company or a startup, but there you need to compromise with that comfort zone, right? That somehow the laziness kind of, if I can say, you need to compromise with that.
Yeah, I
So
think inertia creeps in, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
all about inertia.
inertia, yeah, that's correct. So from the like day one, if you are, that's what I said, your starting 5 years are really crucial for you, because there, as you are a young energy, you can put the efforts. Don't always try to put yourself in a comfort zone, at least this way, like I mean, in terms of the learning or working for like extra hours sometimes, and stretching yourselves, that you can do, and it will definitely come up with something good. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah, I think so. Before we go to Nikhil, about actually does work-life balance exist at all from an entrepreneur's perspective? Does they have that term in dictionary? We'll go there. Before that, as you touched upon this 2 years thing, Shashank, which is also kind of very important from a new professional point of view.
Yeah.
Generally, as a standard in India, at least it is considered the 2 years of experience for an MBA. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So parallelly, there would be. I think when we talk about work-life balance, there it is all about preparing for an MBA and doing the job there. So, from a tech domain perspective, how important is it for anyone to have an MBA degree? Uh,
From the tech perspective, I won't agree on that point that you should have a like MBA degree for that, because like I have worked in such firms, right? Let's say my first employer, take an example of first employer. There were folks from the MBA degrees as well, right? And there are folks who were from the non-CS background, right? But still, they were working into this data analytics domain, the data science part, machine learning engineering, these kind of things. They were like from ECE or civil branches, right? So at least to move into this tech part, definitely I would say like having that MBA sort of stuff is not necessary. But uh, if you are thinking from that perspective, if I say like the soft skills majorly, or like communicating with the client part, and you want to work on that perspective, right? Client interaction, getting the requirements, get the things done, managing the things, right? So if you're looking from that perspective, then I think that is obviously the must to have thing for you if you are targeting the good organizations and you want to take a move into that, right? But from the tech perspective, since I have worked with those folks, even in the McKinsey, it was a great experience for me. There were like, that's the categorization I have seen. I mean, folks who are majorly coming from that MBA background, they were involved into that stuff, right? The like implement manager sort of stuff profile, and sometimes the business analyst or the data analyst, you can say, they are mostly, they are tightly coupled or closely interacting with the client and requirement things. So
okay.
that's the
And
segregation I have.
if I go a dip, dig a dip, I mean dig it a bit more deeper. Uh, See, from a business development role perspective, for example, uh, a person who doesn't have an MBA, for example, he goes till certain extent,
Yeah.
maybe senior manager level or maybe general manager level. After that, okay, in order to grow beyond the vice president and then further, uh, definitely an MBA matters there to those people. So in that hierarchy, even if it's for an MNC, are we really getting a lot of value added if you do an MBA along with this tech domain experience which you have, or is it really not that much in terms of the hierarchy rise?
If you talked about that hierarchy part, then definitely at that point, definitely it can matter. But I am keeping these two directions in a separate way, like the tech perspective, right? If you are really looking forward for that tech domain, right? We, let's say if I talk about the managers in who are in this tech domain, then probably you have a profile like the architect, technical architect, senior architect, and then you can say the head of engineering, or something like that one. If you are looking forward that for that hierarchy, then I haven't seen that this is going to be matter for you.
Okay, okay. I think
But
that exactly answers it. Okay.
yeah, if you are, yeah, moving into that direction where you closely want to deal with the business, then definitely
Yeah, of course, of
will
course.
add value. Yeah.
From technical point of view, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Nikhil, so finally, you before we have another 5-10 minutes with us to discuss on okay for our panelists, and we will leave it to our audience for questions from there on. So for this next 5 minutes, maybe a minute of it, Nikhil, for let's be very, I think you can be very frank here. From a startup perspective, should anyone coming joining the startup as a fresher, work-life balance का क्या scenario है?
No, I mean, I have very strong views about that. I mean, if you're looking for work-life balance, then a startup is not the right place for you, very
And
frankly.
simple, right? Simple, right? Huh?
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's very straightforward. There's no beating around the bush, right? I mean, you're being ambitious, so you cannot gain anything in this life without putting in the hard work. So we're
Yes.
looking, like I said, we only try to hire people, and you should only join a startup only if you're looking, you're ambitious, you're putting in the hard work. See, typically what happens is that there's a trade-off, right? So when you're working in a startup, you're not maybe being compensated as highly as an MNC. But at the same time, with the compensation, they're also asking you to work hard. Now that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Think about it. You're not getting paid enough, and you're asking to get work, asking to get work. Work harder in general. But at the same time, there's an opportunity to really grow. If the company is growing, then you have an opportunity to become a senior engineer or maybe even a manager in half the time, not even half the time. Like people, you might be working for 7 years, and you might achieve that in a year in a startup. Literally, that's the level of
Yes,
difference.
yes, exactly, Nikhil. I think you're on point there. I think in terms of ambition and okay risk-taking capability, if it exists, I think startup is the way to go. And also in terms of financial growth, okay, if you talk about only financial growth that way, a journey with startup for 3 years or 4 years, I think the financial growth they have by the end of fourth year, it would be very immense when compared to working within any established MNC, right?
I agree.
But however, for the initial 1 year or 2 years, that is where you have to forego your financial needs a bit, and also work-life balance also should take the backseat there, and then learn and grow, and take up the roles and responsibilities where and ever. I think greener pastures exist right in startup.
Absolutely. I think you've summarized it really well that you need to bide your time basically in a startup. You're going to get that return maybe in year number 3 or year number 4, where your ESOPs actually have started to have value. When your
Right.
startups are valued at 10 million, 50 million, 100 million,
Mm.
you see, like Shashank mentioned, 6 unicorns this week. Right? Anyone who's an early employee there, they're rolling in the dough now. See, they went through that phase. It's not like today they're rich or anything. They went through that time. They had a couple of years in between where they're not being paid as per their requirement, but still they knew that if they put in the hard work and they stick with this company, long term, it's going to help them out. So it's
Yeah, I
about,
think
yeah,
societal viewpoint also, Nikhil. Sorry. Yeah, please continue. Please continue. I'll add
no,
on.
go ahead.
So from a societal viewpoint also, if we see the pressure from parents and society as such during the initial stage of the life, professional career, I think in terms of finances, it won't be much. And also in terms of be it marriage, be it something else, some other responsibility coming into picture is very less. So if we delay it by another 2-3 years into professional career, it becomes a tricky scenario, right?
Yeah.
There you have to make conscious decision of which way to take. If you have to take a startup route, then I think you have much more variables to play with. Play with nahi hai. Much more variables which can play on you.
Yeah.
Right? So now I think till now we mostly talked about for a person who has this possibility of choosing startup or MNC. Now let's talk about the major chunk of the graduates or undergraduates who come out, especially from a tech domain perspective. For them, in terms of startup, what should be how in order to get hired by a startup or start working in a let's talk about hiring here, okay? To be hired by a startup, what journey should they take, and for an MNC, what journey should they take? I mean, like if I go into a bit deep detail about this, should their journey start the moment they sit for an interview, or should the entire thought process or planning should start maybe third year, middle say, or second year say? Yes, sir. So I think Nikhil, you can take this up first.
Sure, I'll take this up. So in my view, I think if you're a good fit for a startup, you don't think of this when you're sitting in an interview. It's not a decision that is made on the final day of your college. This is something that you work towards. You understand that, I want to be in that position. You understand, again, it's all about ambition. So from the day one of college, you should also be working hard over there. You should be looking to work your skills, improve your skills. So it's not just about technical ability, but it's also about understanding. Like, see, people come from various different type of colleges. It's a competition. You have to be better than the rest. People can't eventually say that, my college wasn't good enough. They didn't teach me this course, so I'm not able to, compete. That's that's not going to get you anywhere. Now, I'm not going to give you a job in sympathy that, okay, you didn't get to do that course. You come with me, I'll teach you. No, you have to build that skill. There's so many resources now. EdTech is like at its peak at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's what I said. You cannot have that realization in the fourth when you're sitting in the interview that, yeah, there's a startup, they might be doing well. Let's go and sit. No, you have to be preparing for that early on. You need to have the necessary skills. Now that's a big differentiation. Now that it's you've seen a lot more startups come up, but the quality of hires has also gone up as well. So it's up to you, um, on how well you develop yourself. Very frankly, colleges don't matter, really frankly, nor does your stream matter to a great extent. It matters about what skill sets you have. So when we take an interview, it's more about how well are you able to face in that interview rather than, previous things you've done. I've seen a lot of people from top institutes who are not worthy of being working at a startup. They don't have the tenacity, they don't have the mindset. I think you really have to build that in yourself, have that right tenacity, and start from day one while you're in college. And then no time is too late. It takes about six months, 12 months to really learn all the major skill sets that you need to work at a startup. You need to be looking at being a generalist rather than a specialist. And startups want generalists.
Okay. So I think to put it very bluntly, guys, start at least a year or so before. Okay.
Yeah.
Even then, if you will late
You need
comer.
to start it from the day zero. That's what, like, as soon as you enter in your college life, that's the point you need to start think about yourself.
Okay. So here, yeah, Shashank has gone much further forward and said first.
Yeah, you cannot take it for granted. Like, obviously you have multiple aspects. The one aspect you talk about, the parents and the society pressure, that's the one aspect which actually compels a lot of students to compromise with their dreams, right? They actually want to take that risk, but that society and the parents, sometimes they are putting that pressure. No, you are probably not supposed to do it because somehow we are dependent on you. We want you to be financially secure because we are dependent on you, right? So that's the point where a lots of dreams are dying, and they are those young energies are putting their dreams into the trash. So I think that's the time where someone probably, they shouldn't care about the society first. Society is like, they shouldn't care about it at all. The parents, yeah, definitely they should care about, but they should convince them, right? If you are going to take a decision, first you need to be sure for yourself that, yep, I'm 100% sure that I can take that risk and I can convert it into something meaningful. Then you need to convert with, you need to convince your loved ones that I need your support, because their support is also very, very important, right? So
Yeah.
that's the one thing. And after, at the end, it is all about you. You need to start thinking about yourself. If you are just starting the things very late, I have made those mistakes, trust me, right? Whether I talk about my graduation time, I wasted my 3 years, right? That graduation time, because that educational environment didn't support me for that. Like, I joined that a government university just because of that financial pressure, right? I wanted to do something else, but I ended up with something else. I woke up little late, but when I woke up, I took it as a last opportunity for me, that this is the one I need to prove myself. And I just, like, I need to do it. Doesn't matter कि कैसे करना है, मेरे को अपना 100% देना है. And that's how it went on for me.
Understood. So I think coming to in terms of pure probability at this moment for an Indian graduate, okay, getting into a startup after graduation is a better possibility than getting into any MNC, right? Because MNCs, they become too picky and choosy also.
Yeah, definitely.
When we're talking about those salaries and a settled atmosphere and a structured growing environment and all, it comes with certain this, it is not available for for everyone in this, okay, market at this moment. Okay, this is only for certain set of people. So now From that point of view, I think maybe Shashank, you were a bit more harsh when saying from day one, day zero. So, chalo, maybe we can leave 1 year for them, right, to explore their freedom.
Yeah, but main point was that at least when you enter, obviously that 1 year, starting 1 year may take some time to understand what you actually want to do. But at least just don't be late. That's what my perspective,
Yes,
right?
be open, guys. Be open for the first year. Okay, try to observe as
Yeah.
much as you can in wherever you are. And at this moment, from the second year, second year half onwards, at least, maybe take this opportunity of EdTech ecosystem which is in place. And especially with tech domain, I think there is a lot of possibilities for everyone. Get yourself well prepared before.
Actually, I'm
Yeah.
a good example for that because I was late in terms of the self-awareness as well. I didn't realize what are the latest trends are going on in the IT industry. Probably if would I have explored it, then I got to know about this big data thing in my probably let's say second years as well. I could have planned my profile in such a way, but I got to know about it when I was working in with my first employer. So
Mm.
I have made those mistakes. So you can plan, like at least you can initiate those things. You can start planning for it.
Understood, understood, understood. So, wonderful, guys. I mean, I think it was definitely a thorough, insightful panel, and we had a good discussion on this. And as we are approaching the end of it, I would leave it to the audience for their questions. In terms of questions, I think it starts for Nikhil. Uh, there's a question asking you what are the hardships which you have gone as an entrepreneur in your earlier days.
So I think that's a very long question, by the way. I mean, if I start listing down the hardships, I'll be here writing a while, getting hand cramps. But very frankly, I think it's about the unknown. It's about the unstructured part.
Hmm.
That's the hardest thing you have to kind of deal yourself with. See, in your life, you've always been like, you have a defined path that if you do these XYZ things, now, if you study hard, you'll get 100%, you'll get good grades, you'll get a good college. Everything is structured for you. Even till the end of college, everything is structured for you. There's a senior who tells you that, just keep doing these things and you'll do good. You'll do great. Even maybe getting into a job that there's a you have to build your CV, you have to ace a couple of interviews. In tech, it's even more straightforward. You do a lot of comparative coding. In a startup, that was absolutely flipped on its head. I am defining what I have to do going forward. Who defines success? Who defines whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing? Who knows whether this startup can become something big or not? It's just you. So you have to really have that ability to kind of believe in yourself. That's one of the hardest things. And you see, you have to accept failure. So for me, that was one of the hardest things. Like I've always excelled at whatever I put my hands on throughout school. I've been a hard worker. So A grades, even in IIT, I was able to get good grades really easily. Anything I put my hands on. Startup was one thing that the first time I did it, I actually got my hands burned. So I learned so much from that, and I had such a good time actually finally accepting. So once we had that acceptance that this is not working, we actually had the guts to still not take a job and go on for the second startup. So I think that is one of the hardest things to deal with.
Oh, guys, I think you have your answer. It's like, be there, man. And as Nikhil said, Nikhil, be ready for that risk-taking ability. And in terms of, I think the issues which will come up, they are like mushrooms. Day in and day out, they come in. So don't even worry about those. They're bound to happen. Just be there, resilient, and then maybe, as he said, be very conviction-wise, be there. Yes. So Shashank, I think the question for you at this moment, yeah, this is for you, Shashank.
Yeah.
I think this is actually this particular question from this guy is asking your okay, in terms of you had your I mean I'm rephrasing it. But, okay, you had your some obligations or whatever it is through which you have to maybe plan your professional or even student career as well. Okay, accordingly take through. However, when you see at this moment, he's actually asking about how to be self-driven in an MNC environment. So I'm just rephrasing it in a bit different way for you. You are a person where you are a very good public speaker now. You have a lot of following on LinkedIn as well as you do something which a general okay MNC employee is not expected to do. So how to get onto that path?
Okay, that's a good question, and like most like oftenly asked one. So people used to ask me that, at least first perspective was that, dude, you are working in Amazon where people say that like obviously life is not that chill, and apart from that, you are like into this public speaking and owning a YouTube channel and like content writing on LinkedIn, these things. So this is something. Obviously you can choose either one option, that you're sitting in an organization like it's an MNC and just keep on working the things whatever your manager assigned, and just you are going in that flow. So अगर ऐसा कुछ करना है तो फिर like करते रह सकते हो 10 साल तक 20 साल तक, ठीक है. So but if that's what I talked about, that term visibility, you need to make yourself visible somehow. And like taking those steps, like that came from like giving back to the community, because being an engineer, definitely I used to think, because somehow when I was growing, community helped me a lot, right, in terms of anything, whether it is about the content on YouTube or any blogs or any website, anything, community helped me to grow in that perspective. So now I also see myself in that state where I can give back to the community. So that was the point, like when I started this thing. So mostly like spreading awareness about this data analytics or the data engineering domain mostly, and like make students really aware about that, those kind of mistakes what I have done, and like how can they decide in their college time that what they actually want to do, how to differentiate between different profiles, how to choose a good pick profile, and what different they can do so that they can make themselves stand out from the crowd. So that's the kind of thing I'm trying to do. I'm just trying my level best to give back to the community. If you love to do these things, then definitely you can manage the time. बट अगर आपको ऐसा लेजी फील ही हो रहा है कि यार जॉब के अलावा और किसी चीज में हम अपने हाथ डाल ही नहीं सकते, then I think you won't be able to do that. Obviously it's a time crunch for me, like I need to handle my job part as well. There are crucial requirement which I need to work upon, but obviously I have blocked some time for my, like proper time management is also like very necessary when you work on the multiple things, right? You cannot mix up the things together. You have your own time for the job, that's the first priority for me, obviously, because I'm working for that part, right? So I
Understood.
cannot take it for granted, I cannot exceed the like timelines or something like that. I need to maintain that thing, but whatever time I have blocked for the other things, I will give it for them because I love to do it.
Mhm. So I think in one line, if you have to put it, it's all about from inside you. You should be okay.
Yeah,
That forward going, and then visibility in the sense, first of all, get visible to yourself about what you want, and then take it forward.
definitely. Your interest, your intent, and what you actually love to do, that also matters a lot, first
Right.
thing.
Yeah, I think it really doesn't matter if it is MNC or startup at the end of the day. Okay, it is
Yeah.
this one which keeps you going. Okay. And the final question, guys, I think as we are running out of time, as though there are a few more questions. Okay, I'm picking one among them. Yeah, this question is all about a general perspective से question है. At the end of graduation or undergraduation, does it really matter MNC or startup? In a way where do I really have a choice? I think it's going by flow. What do you think? This is a question. So
Yes,
you
you are
guys,
picking.
maybe I will also take some time after you have provided your versions to summarize it.
Nikhil, you can go first.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting question. I think there's a huge difference between an MNC and a startup working in workplaces. So I think just going with the flow, you figure out what flow works for you. I think you should know what you want to do. I think that's a great kind of mindset to go with. Don't make any strict, like thoughts in your mind that I need to work at an MNC or I need to work at a startup. Typically, I think people should understand what works best for them, and they should try and go in that direction automatically. If you've done things like like what Shashank said, that if you really enjoy doing something, then automatically you're following will increase. And the same thing in a startup. If you really enjoy learning about new technologies, your tech knowledge will automatically increase, and you would be a good fit for a startup automatically. It's not about I have to really plan that way. It's more about who you are, and that opportunity will kind of frame itself for you. So that's my thought process on that.
Okay, okay. Shashank, your thoughts, please.
Yep, that's what I mean. Obviously, like in the beginning, it is going to be hard for you. Like, but you need to be somehow like clear. At least you need to be clear, because that is the really crucial point for you. Because I personally don't want someone to feel regretted after 1 2 year that okay, I took that bad decision. No, just that's why if you are planning things like at an early stage, you are like really enthusiastic, like working for the startup side, or you want really targeting the good tech giant companies or the product companies. So that's how like take a step back, plan the things at an early stage, and you will be cleared at that point of time when you need to choose from these two options.
Yeah, I think both of you more or less were about be self-aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the key.
During
Actually.
the college, be self-aware of what you do. And I think in order to add to this point, maybe from my end, it will be like, guys, be it professional career, be it student career, whatever it is, anything you take, the first day you won't even have the complete visibility. Okay.
Yeah.
Though here the question was about going by flow, right? In terms of what you want, understanding that don't go by flow, go by what you really want. Okay, give the time for yourself, okay, to analyze what really makes you satisfied or maybe keeps you happy at peace. Uh, and then if you give that time, automatically I think you will create your own flow, or maybe going by a flow or creating your own flow. Okay, which Shashank has taken in certain direction, Nikhil has taken it in a different direction. For me, my journey is something else. Okay, so everyone will have their own paths, right?
Yeah, but it's a good point to mention that you don't have to have that visibility on day one. You don't have to have that visibility at the end of your college when you're picking your first job. Sometimes you just go for it, and while you're in your job, just be self-aware. So, like you should just be careful about that. Keep asking yourself that, but it's okay if you don't have the answers. You can spend a couple of years to figure that out. A lot of people actually switch their job after 2 years, and then they find something that they really like. And so, usually after the first job switch, that you actually enter something that you want to work in.
Yep.
Cool, wonderful, guys. Nikhil and Shashank, thanks a lot for being part of this panel discussion. And we definitely had a very elaborate and then I think in some places to the point and blunt discussion as well. So thanks for this constructive uh, 1 hour's time.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Also for me having this discussion with you guys.
It was great experience for me, like interacting, like listening to Nikhil and you. So obviously a good experience for me. So thank you so much, like for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to interact with you guys.
Pleasure is all ours, Shashank. Thanks for being.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Likewise, really nice meeting you, Shank and Chichka. And thanks for inviting me.
The pleasure is same with us here, Nikhil. So, I hope we have further more discussions like this moving forward. And thanks for this session, guys.
Okay.
For the audience, this is the end of our first day of Enthusiastic Tech Summit Open Sessions, people. However, day 2, we have few more sessions coming up, on which are much more tuned towards making yourself visible as well as making yourself presentable in terms of applying for a job or entering the professional career, be it CV workshop, be it how to get, what are the few critical mistakes which people make in terms of during the interview discussions and all, and so forth. So please be logged in for tomorrow as well, and thanks everyone for being here.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Nice evening and weekend, guys. Bye. Nice evening and weekend, guys. Bye.